Hey everybody, and happy Friday. Welcome to Fuller Homestead. My name is Brian. We're going to call this video a free-for-all Friday. And one of the reasons we're doing that is because we're kind of getting a late start in shooting because today was my birthday, and well, it is my birthday. It is my birthday. And so our family took a trip down to Hot Springs to be with other family. We went to a museum, we hung out at a campsite, we went and ate lunch at a nice seafood restaurant. And so thanks to everybody who was able to come out from the family and do that. And a special thanks to Logan for always making everything a whole lot of fun. I know he watches every one of these videos, so I want to give a shout out to him today. The first thing up on today's video is to talk about a new piece of equipment that we bought for the homestead. I made a post about this a couple of days ago on Instagram, but wanted to shoot a video about our new auger. Shortly before we got up here, in the months leading up to our move to Arkansas, I had made kind of this master list of things that we needed to buy, either brand new or used, that we needed for our homestead, or at least would make homesteading a lot easier for us. And near the top of the list was this. It is a Predator auger power head. In other words, it digs holes in the ground. It comes with this particular auger right here that's 6 inches wide and 31 inches long. It's gas powered using an oil gas mix of 50-1, like you care. But we wanted to make sure that we had one of those because infrastructure was going to be such a huge deal of what we needed to do in the months leading up to getting livestock on the property. And we knew from previous owners that this ground grew a lot of great things. Well, one of those things was, well, rocks. Now, it's not nearly as bad as the land that we had in Texas where it was just beds of rock. These seem to be loose rocks, so we're hoping this helps. Now, around the garden area, we are told that there was a lot of rocks that have already been removed from there, so I'm excited about using this auger in that area. The others we'll just have to see. All right, so this is Jack. Jack is a Pointer Dalmatian mix. He's been with the family for about 4.5 years, or at least we think that may be how old he is. We picked him up as an adoptive dog in the Austin, Texas area, and he's been with us ever since. This is his first big move, except for maybe the initial one. So he had a tough time when we first started out, was a little bit anxious, but has grown to love being a farm dog, so to speak. He loves to ride in the pickup truck. He also loves to have you throw things and him bring it back. Now, he may not bring it right back, but he'll bring it back. He also loves protecting the family from people who might harm us, like Amazon delivery people and UPS and pretty much anyone. But once they're here for a little bit and he gets to know them, he'll be your best friend. So this is Jack, and he's part of the homestead. Now, the only other pet that we have here on the property currently is our cat. This is Lacey. Lacey is what we believe to be about 15 years old, and she has no claws. She has barely any teeth. So she's not so much a mouser or a lizard grabber or a bird chaser as much as she is a napper, really, is what she is. But Lacey's been with us a long time. She has outlived a lot of dogs. We joke that she'll probably end up outliving us, and she desperately wants down right now, so I'm gonna let her do that. Some people with keen eyes noticed that in the background of the last video, it looked like there was something growing in the garden area that I did not point out. Yes, indeed, there are a few things growing in that area. Right after we first moved in, my in-laws came by and helped move things in, and that included my sister-in-law and her family. As a housewarming, homestead warming gift, my sister-in-law brought some tomato plants, and she also brought some squash. Now, I will say, I think there were 2 other plants that she planted in here, and they have since, they're no longer with us. You can see that the tomato plants that she put in and also the squash are doing fairly well, considering that we have had record-breaking heat, it seems like, around here, and then also the fact that there may have been one day or two that I forgot to water them. So don't know exactly if they're gonna produce anything this year or not. When it comes to people that have known us for a long time and known what we have done in our past as far as jobs and careers, and they find out that we're making this leap, they will first of all say, man, that sounds exciting. What made you do this? And at some point, we'll probably shoot a video that kind of details more about this journey that got us from Texas to here. But let me just say really briefly that there have been a lot of influences that have made this dream become a reality. And one of those things has been some great authors like Joel Salatin. And one of the books that has been more concrete for me in making plans and drawings and all kinds of things has been this book, polyface micro, basically taking the idea of larger scale farming like he does and making it homestead-esque, or at least on a homestead scale. And so I highly recommend this book, really anything he does. The other things that have been impressive and helpful for us have been articles that we've read, like in Mother Earth News magazine, Grit magazine, books like 5 Acres and a Dream, Raising Small Livestock, I forget the guy's name, and then just watching a ton of people like Justin Rhodes on YouTube, and I mean, just so many different small scale farms that have been inspirations. So if you are thinking about doing this, realize that we're just on the forefront. I can't even say like, oh, these have all been so helpful and look how much success we've had. But as far as getting some things that are more concrete, this is it. Oh, and one other thing I'll say about this that I have learned just in this short time that we have made this leap is that there are so many people that are willing to help. We've met farmers at church. We have met people in the community that say, hey, have you talked to so-and-so down the road? And they do this and they do this. And I've reached out to people on Instagram as saying, hey, can we have a phone call? And they've been happy to do that. It just seems like this community has been great for helping each other. Now, many of you have seen what we have in the shop that we're starting off with, but some have asked about equipment and what did you bring up with you? Well, the first thing that I wanted to point out is probably the largest piece of equipment that we brought, and that's this Kubota B7500. It's a 2002 model, I believe. It doesn't have very many hours on it. It came with this 54-inch belly mower. I've been looking to try to get a front loader for it. I was on a wait list for like 6 months for one when we lived in Texas. Called places around here and no one seems to know how we can get one any sooner. So I don't know if this will end up being a trade-in for something else, but for right now, the Kubota tractor is one of the first biggest pieces of equipment that we have with us. The other one we actually didn't move up here with, but we did purchase right when we got here from the previous owner. Now I had a 0-turn radius mower in the Texas area, but I sold it with the house. And so therefore I had to get something else because right now we have a lot of yard that we let grow to mow. And so this is what we purchased. It's a bad boy, we think pre-2007, and it just zips around this property and does great, well-built machine. It also is going to be helpful for carrying small trailers. We do have the tractor, obviously, but this gets us there a little quicker. All right, believe it or not, that's going to do it for today's Free for All Friday here at Fuller Homestead. As you can tell, already drenched in sweat. The humidity is just crazy right now. And so gonna go ahead inside, call it a day, finish the rest of the birthday with family. Hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.